Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Couch Crunch Podcast. I'm your host Nick, and and I have my co-host here Don here with me. Go ahead and say hi, Don.
Yo, what up, everybody? It's down here. Are we reviewing Dragon Ball Superheroes? It just came
Yes,
out.
yes, sir. I mean, we're a little late to the party, but it's been a week and we still got some time to really go over it. But we're going to dive into this episode and just kind of talk about some of the things that were actually really good with the movie, um, and basically just give our full opinions and how we felt about the movie. Don, you want to kind of start us off on that?
Oh yeah, sure. So, I want to start off by saying before going into this, not gonna lie, I had lower expectations, and unfortunately, it's because of the CGI. I see a lot of other people saying that as well. They wasn't sure if it was going to be hold up to par with like the other Dragon Ball Z content that's been coming out lately.
Mm.
Um, Actually, it took me by surprise, and it was actually a good quality of how they handled the
Yeah,
CGI with the 2D.
it was actually done well. Like it wasn't. I really thought too. I was like, when I seen the trailer, I think because remember I believe we did an episode a couple months back, um,
Yeah,
just like talking about the movie when it first got announced and stuff. Um, it was I also was on the same page. I was like, I don't know, man, because like the CGI doesn't really look up to par. You know what I mean? It kind of looks kind of choppy, like the graphics look fine, but as far as the framework, as far as like the movements, kind of look like they were a little slow. But
uh-huh.
nah, when the movie came out, it was like, nah, it was done well. I gotta
Yeah,
agree, man. It was not. I didn't have any problems with it.
yeah, it's pretty well combination of like 2D and CGI, and they did it pretty well. And it I noticed like I didn't even know like the Broly movie before this one, Dragon Ball Super Broly movie actually had CG like that in there as well, but not as much as this one. This one is like
Nah,
really,
they kept
uh
it a little like it was kind of like a combination of like the traditional like graphics and stuff like that as far as the like how Dragon Ball Z is itself, and it had a little bit of the new kind of CGI in there, but
right.
it was actually done. That was another film. I was like, yo, this shit is hot. Like,
Yeah, that was amazing. That animation was like top notch. It's like that's like one some of the best action scenes I've seen in Dragon Ball Z ever. The Dragon Ball, the universe of your content.
yeah,
But yeah, like jumping into this, yeah, I know the most I known going into this movie was that it was surrounded about the themes of the Red Ribbon Army and everything for as like the androids and everything like that. That's the most I known of it, and that it was kind of like a prequel in a way, like showing like Pam when she was like smaller and like
yeah. That
Gohan
was
father
that
and
caught me
everything.
by surprise a little bit because I was like, because we were already used to her actually a little grown, and she actually had her boyfriend, right? Like she had a relationship and stuff. I forgot which one was it. I think it was Super, right? Like she was already grown in Super, like the TV series. I think she's already grown in there.
Yeah, and even before that, like the first time you see her is in Dragon Ball GT when she's like a preteen, like a
Yeah.
13 or so.
The
Yeah,
time the time frame the timelines are always like kind of jumping.
right. Yeah, but it's cool that they went back and fixed it, and like this is like a redo of what Pam's story. So I thought that was cool how they try to fix
Yeah.
it. They did in GT.
As far as the Red Robin goes, I mean the Red Ribbon Army. I'm sorry, I said Red Robin. Um, yeah, I mean it's been a long time since we heard about them. In general, I was like, wow, that took me back to like the Cell Saga, bruh.
Yeah, even like the original Dragon Ball, because that's where it all started.
Yeah, yeah. I always forget. There was actually, and they did mention like a couple of other like enemies that were in there, right? Like I don't know all of them, but
Yeah,
I know there
like
was like a few of them that was actually on. I think the like you said, the first Dragon Ball.
Yeah, like the very beginning of this
Yeah.
movie when they're showing like Kid Goku and they showed all the Red Ribbon Army enemies that he fought in Dragon Ball. And it's like, yeah, it's like different sagas within Dragon Ball that he took down like different bosses in the Red Ribbon Army.
Hmm.
So it was cool that they showed that like the beginning stages of how that empire was built. And of course it leads up to Dr. Gero, which is he's like a big part of all this whole movie because he's like the start of the androids in a way of starting that whole corporation
Hmm.
with Cell and Android
What?
18 and 17.
This might be off course a little bit, but what was the goal with him? Like, why did he create the androids? Did they ever explain that? Or
Just like to make an army. His whole goal was just to build like a strong army for us to conquer the lands, different lands.
oh, he just wanted power. Oh,
Yeah, like most of the villains in
Dragon
Dragon Ball,
Ball.
he just wants to take over shit. You know, and
Gotcha.
it was just use his android army just to conquer.
I forgot how he died again. Who killed him? Was it Gohan or Goku? I don't remember.
Damn, who was it? I forget.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, I was like, how he died? I know he died, but I just don't remember. Or was it
Oh, you know what? I
was
think
it
it
the
was one of
androids?
the androids. Yeah, I think it's Android
Yeah, I think
6.
they turned on him or some shit, right? Like they were just I
Yeah,
don't
because yeah, they have no use for him anymore, and they just turned on him. Yeah, yeah, that's right. That was one of it was the androids that did that. You know.
I was like, how did he die again? It was man, that was a while ago.
Yeah, that's back in Dragon Ball Z era.
But my bad, went off course a little bit. But go ahead.
Oh no, yeah. But like with Dr. Gero, is in this one, it's showing that his great grandson, his little fat chubby kid, Dr. Hito, that's his name, Dr. Hito. And
Mm.
he's like the new generation of the Red Ribbon Army, and he made his own androids. But his pers- from his spin on it is that he's making heroes out of these androids. He's trying to make them good guys. Well, so-called portray as good guys, but they're actually not, of course. But
Mm.
he pretty much brainwashed them to make them think that all the actual heroes like Gohan and Piccolo are the enemies, like villains, but they're, of course, they're not. But he programmed them to think that they are the villains. So I thought that was interesting, that kind of spin that Dr. Hito programmed them to do that.
Mm. Yeah, because
Yeah,
I was like, who's the kid? Like,
yeah, yeah. That's his great Dr. Jero's great grandson.
damn, is it? I think this is the first time that he's been introduced, right? I've never actually seen him in anything else.
Yeah, this is a new character, his first introduction, I believe. You know.
Mm.
Oh yeah, and to give this context too, for as knowing like different series within Dragon Ball Z, I only know the farthest I went in Dragon Ball Z is Dragon Ball GT, and under that like Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball, of course, and like a bunch of the movies. But beyond that, like Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball Kai, I haven't watched any of those, so I'm
Uh,
not familiar with like characters like the Sphinx, all the
um,
comic characters, like Beerus,
Lord Beerus,
Vegeta,
yeah.
all of them. You know.
Yeah, for me, I've been following the Dragon Ball series all the way going back to Dragon Ball Z, I believe. I did see bits and pieces of Dragon Ball, but I've watched GT. I watched Super. I watched um Dragon Ball Heroes, because that's another one.
Oh yeah,
Um, and yeah, out of all of them, I believe Super is my favorite. Um, it has to be because I love that series a lot. I mean, I grew up in the early 2000s, so I mean, like, if you're from the 90s, you definitely didn't get a chance. Like, you have to enjoy it. Like, everyone has seen Dragon Ball Z, so for sure, like, that'll be my number two. GT wasn't like my all time favorite, but I'm gonna go ahead and say I would say Dragon Ball then GT. GT would be like the last favorite. Like
Oh yeah,
yeah.
same too. That's my very the most disliked one. I don't
Yeah. I
like.
just
I
I
don't.
it was a lot going on in there.
Yeah, so I missed ups. That's why I said I'm glad that they actually fixed Pam's storyline and they tried to redo it in the Broly movie and in this one too. So I'm
Yeah.
glad they did that fixed up a couple of things of those. But yeah, it's oh yeah, but yeah, the whole thing with the what are those Dr. Hito's androids? I'm trying to think of their names.
Gamma 1 and 2, I believe.
Yeah, Gamma 1 and 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar to when back when Dr. Giro first introduced Android 17 and 18. That's what it kind of reminded me
Yeah,
of.
and
Like,
then but what then randomly I never got where does 16 come from? Like what the fuck?
oh, from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, like I'm like what he create apparently he created 16, but it was like did he create him first or did he create 17 and 18? I never got that.
Oh yeah, they kind of explained it in this one too in the movie because they showed like a chart of like the family tree, and they showed 16 first, and then they showed the other androids under him. So I
Oh,
think
okay.
it's his first one. Right next to 19, it was. I know
They
19
were
was also like an early version of an android too.
they were pretty powerful enemies though for its time because I mean they gave Goku a run for his money. I don't remember that.
Oh yeah, definitely in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
like especially Vegeta too. I remember Vegeta got his ass whooped by Android 18. That was an iconic fight. That was
Oh,
crazy.
big head always getting beat up, man.
got his
Yeah.
ass whooped. That was like one of my favorite fights from that saga, the Cell saga. And yeah, speaking of Cell, he plays like a big role at the towards the end.
Yeah, we'll get there though. We'll get there. We'll talk about it towards the end though. We'll leave it for yeah, because I thought that was like an amazing reappearance though. And
Yeah,
also, I mean, I think we should have. I always forget to announce this in the beginning of the episode. I always say well, there will be spoilers. So if you guys want spoiler free, you might want to just leave and go watch put a pause on this episode and go watch the movie. Go see it in theaters. It's not on DVD yet, so go see it in theaters and then come back and then yeah, we can dive more into it.
yeah. So, and this whole movie, it showed me that at least some of the writers on the team that's left from previous generations, they still care because it's like a love. It's kind of like a love letter to their fan base. It's like I noticed like a lot of references from like past series, like the Dragon Ball Z series. They made like small little Easter eggs in there. I seen from like Dragon Ball in there too. I'm like, oh, I like that. It's like small little nods of like things that they did in the past, and they
Mm.
brung it all together in this. Even like in the new series, like they showed stuff from the newer generation, like Dragon Ball Super too. So it's like a mixture of the old generation and the new one, and I like how they mashed it together like that. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I like that. I admire that too.
Yeah, and yeah, like Piccolo kind of he's kind of like he stole the show for me in this, like throughout the whole from the beginning
Oh
to the
no,
end.
yeah, I really feel like that. He kind of needed this, man, because I really feel like Piccolo hasn't been able to like really carry the majority of like I would say like the majority of his screen time every single time we see Piccolo. I mean, he's always been a support character in the show. He's fought and he's went through a lot of shit as well. Um, he's died. I can't tell you how many times has he died. I believe like twice, right? Like he's died a lot. I know that.
I can't even count how many times he died throughout the Dragon Ball Z series. I don't.
Yeah, I want to say he died a lot. But he's always been the one to sacrifice his own life. For the greater good for sure. But all I'm
Right.
saying is like we're not really used to Piccolo really getting a lot of screen time. In this film, he really carried the shit, and
Yeah.
man,
I'm
he
glad. Yeah.
Yeah, I really feel like he needed that. It was nice to see that he has been adapting to the culture of the humanity because you usually you just see him like doing meditation or kind of just hating everything in sight.
Right.
Um,
He's just a grumpy man.
yeah, so it was nice
Back
to see that he was actually interacting with the phone, even though he hated the phone.
right. Oh yeah,
um,
parents phone. He was using
yeah,
it.
it was nice to see that he was doing that. Just bonding with them more, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's what he was doing more.
Right.
Um,
Even it kind of even with that, like him bonding with Pam, like that was like a callback from back when he bonded with Gohan
Nine.
back when he
Yeah,
used to be him. So I thought that was cool. That it's like a to the new generation.
yeah. And then it
Or,
was hard for him um, to get Gohan back on his feet as well because, Gohan's been kinda living his own life as an adult, and,
yeah.
he just kinda put, everything off to the side, you know what I mean? He just hasn't been really himself, like, he hasn't been, training or even just try to keep himself up, like, just keep himself in shape. He's just been working, you know what I mean? But Piccolo's kind of been saying, like, you really have to make sure, like, you've been training and stuff like that or just staying in shape because you never know what's really gonna happen and come, what risk are gonna come knocking at your window. You know what I mean? Like it was
Right.
just a lot going on. So it was like for him, he just seeing like Gohan really wasn't, as himself. He's kind of moved on with his life. As he
Right.
should. I mean, at that point it was kind of like he has a kid. He has
Yeah.
Fidel as his wife. So it's kind of like at this point, the man has to live a life.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never got that. And I mean, most people don't want to really focus on that type of stuff because it's Dragon Ball. We always want to see like just guys screaming and powering up and kicking ass. Like that's all we see. Um, but on the realistic side of things, I mean, like like for Gohan, he can't really do what Goku does. You know what I mean? Like Goku's always like on an adventure to like keep fighting, keep wanting to get stronger, keep training, keep advancing. Like it's the same thing with Goku. This man, he's never had a job in his life.
Right.
I,
He's always saving the earth and the universe and
yeah. I mean, and the thing is too, again, I don't want to, start not like inching towards like, start really dissecting like the realistic type. But I don't understand with Goku is like this man is like fucking 60 or 70 or some shit like that. The man looks like he's like still in his 30s.
yeah, yeah. None of the Saiyans ever age. Like you see Vegeta, he looks the same, and
They're like infinite. Like
yeah, they never age. Even Broly, like, oh yeah, that's another thing too. Like in the beginning, it shows like Vegeta and Goku and Broly, they're like training in that planet
it
of those
it
gods.
was so weird to see that too because like we're always used to Broly kind of wanting to like, destroy the planet or like just see him go on a rampage and stuff. So it was
Yeah,
kind of weird to see that, he was actually just sitting there and just taking it all in as far as like seeing how they're training and then their fight style and stuff.
right.
So
It's funny too because like you said, we're usually seeing Broly wilding out and shit and uncontrollable, but from going from the Broly movie and going from this, like the end at the end of the Broly movie, Goku like gives Broly and his friends like the capsules from Bulma, and he kind of makes amends with them and becomes friends with them over time, and it seemed like that kind of calmed Broly down from seeing Goku as an enemy. So I think it kind of translated over to this movie, and that's probably why he's like so cool with them now because he
I
just sees
I
them as
I
com-
still don't think like even with the Broly film, in my opinion, like I feel like Ultra Instinct probably would have annihilated him. In my opinion, like they all they needed to do was all he needed to do was transform into that form, man. It would have been over. Um, But of course, they couldn't do that. I don't know why they didn't want to do that. So they went the fusion route, and I think it was Gogeta. It was like, I think,
Yeah, he needed both of them to defeat just
yeah,
yeah. Broly was like unstoppable in that shit.
he was
Like
a lot more stronger than he was in the past. Like, I don't know, it was just weird.
yeah, I think it's because they reread it. Like because in that movie they didn't know who he was for some reason. So I think they just reread from the past Dragon Ball Z when they did know him, but they just erased that and they just it's like a different timeline in a way.
Yeah,
So I think that's why that he was stronger.
and it was
'Cause
interesting because at least we got more of a background story on like what happened to him after he crash landed on the planet.
right. I like that they like reread him and like kind of gave him more a character development in that movie, and it kind of made him an actual character.
Yeah, and now and that's what I'm saying. It's just so different to see. It's so different to see him now in like this new perspective, I guess, if you want to say. And
Right. Because
he's not really trying to kill anybody.
right. Because originally, Broly wasn't actually supposed to be a character in the Dragon Ball Z. It was just like a, a one-off thing. Like when they made him into those movies, like with Trunks and Goten, and back in the '90s. Those were just supposed to be like little spin-offs, but he wasn't actually supposed to be a um what's the word a chronological character that's actually supposed to be in there. But yeah, the fans liked him so much that he actually became an actual character. So that's cool that they
So
actually made a whole movie after him.
so wait, he was just like an idea or something like that. Like,
Yeah, he wasn't like going from the actual creator. Like I seen like an interview a long time ago. He said he wasn't an actual character. He was just like a idea of like for a movie, and and that's it. He wasn't supposed to be part of the actual story.
oh, like sort of like Cooler and stuff, like with Frieza's brother and shit. Oh, okay. It was like one of those films that were kind of like, okay, it was just kind of like a one time deal, and that was it.
Right. It's like a standoff thing. It's like a standalone thing, but it's not part of the actual story.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn. So they liked him so much that they was kind of like, now we got to make this guy a real character.
Right. Because Broly wasn't actually in the manga, like the source of the whole story. So yeah, but he eventually became part of it later on, and Super and everything. So
Well, I mean, it's good to see. I mean, it's good that we have him on like a part of the franchise now. I mean, he's been around for for so long. Like those movies actually came out like what in the 90s, 80s.
yeah, yeah, '95. That when that first movie came out, Broly.
Yeah, I was in the assumption when I first got it because I got it on DVD and that was an old one. I thought that shit came out in the early 2000s. Dude, that came out like in the 80s probably. I think.
Oh yeah, Dragon Ball started in like the '80s, and then like Dragon Ball Z started in like the '90s. You know, but it's been out for so long, especially in Japan. Yeah,
Um, but I can go ahead and kind of take my take on it. I when I first started watching it, like I said, I mean, I was kind of just really just taking everything in as far as like the Red Ribbon Army. Um, I haven't really been really the best educated on like that aspect of it. Like besides what was it, Gennaro?
Jiro.
Jiro. Okay. Um, since like the Cell saga and stuff like that, it's been a long time since I've been able to revisit that collection. Um, so it was nice to see them that they made a reappearance back in the film. I was kind of confused because before I started watching the movie, it was kind of like they were already kind of spoiling it already. They were just saying like, "Oh, the Gohan's really the main protagonist." Um, we're gonna. I thought it was like, okay, maybe this is around the same time where the Cell Saga, was around and stuff. No, it was actually it still happened like this. This was like years afterwards, right? Like I believe like this was all happened taking like way after.
Yeah,
Um,
this is like after the Cell Saga and all the other sagas and the Boo and everything.
yeah, because it's like when they mentioned that. They were mentioning like Boo and stuff like that, Majin Buu and stuff. So they showed him like a couple of clips of them actually, defeating them.
Yeah.
Um,
But we see like Goten and Trunks when they're like teenagers, so we know it's like
yeah.
farther in the future. You know?
Um, so I mean, it was a lot for me to take in because especially like I haven't been able to like really study that in a long time, but it was cool to revisit. Um, like I said, as far as seeing Piccolo, seeing like he's been adapting more to the culture of like, just humans in general. Um, and then fast forwarding from that, with Gohan, it was nice to see Gohan kind of jump back into uh, Ultimate Gohan when he actually was battling the androids and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that was
it's something
sick.
that we haven't seen in a long time since the Cell Saga, because I don't really remember when the last time Gohan has had to really go into that form since then. Besides, I think like the Majin Buu era. I think
Yeah.
that's where Ultimate Gohan came from, right? Like I think he developed him in the Majin Buu saga.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because when he was fighting Cell, he was like a teenager or something.
Yeah, yeah, he's way younger than
Yeah, so I want to say like Majin Buu saga that he came out with Ultimate Gohan, and
yeah,
so it was nice to see him actually come back from that and still like managing, like he was still doing some work on the some of the one of the androids. But
right.
surprisingly, like I said, the androids were actually they were kind of strong. Surprisingly, they fucked Piccolo up. You know what I mean? I was like, oh shit,
Yeah, and they cause them to awaken this
Shenron.
new form Piccolo has, Piccolo Orange they call it.
Yeah, I was like, damn, we still had to revisit. When they brought out the seven Dragon Balls, I was like, damn, we still call Shenron, like, yo, Shenron at this point is like they got you gotta have this man on speed dial or something. Like, how many times have y'all called this man for everything?
Yeah, it's the reason why I like it. There's a certain part in the movie where Bulma has like a crew part of her capsule corporation, where she sends out people to gather the Dragon Balls.
Look at that. Look, look,
Just
look, look. She got people like that. I forgot that. I forgot about that part too. She got people to just go out and grab them real quick. Like they go into the like on a grocery store, like you know what I mean, just to go pick up some items.
right, just to have it in the back pocket just in case there are emergency pops off. But Bulma over there fucking around and asking for her boobs and her ass to be bigger
Oh
and
my
shit. So
god.
I'm like, come on now, Bulma, you
Yeah.
still doing some shit?
I know you like. Come on, man. No offense to anybody out there that's 50, but like, come on, man. Just accept your age. Like,
Yeah, she's over there trying to get rid of her wrinkles on her face and everything. I'm like,
she
Bulma,
still look
come
the
on, this is
same. She still look the same though. It don't look like she's gotten any older. We haven't
right.
seen damn, we haven't seen damn, what the hell is what's Goku's wife's name?
Oh,
Chi
Chi
Chi.
Chi.
Chi Chi. Yeah,
Oh,
it just hit me as I said it. I was like Chi Chi.
yeah, yeah. She didn't make her appearance in this, but
No, but like the last time that the age has hit her heavy.
oh yeah, I
Yeah.
remember like the Boo Saga. She was like all wrinkly and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That must be shitty for like the females, cuz it's like um
but
it's
they're
like
just human.
yeah,
Bulma and
because
Chi
it's like how long can they live for? They never say. I don't dive into the science of like how long can they really last for. I know most people out there, they know that because they really love the show and stuff, the series. But it's like, I don't know, man, how long can they live for? Because that's crazy. Like, the fact they all look the same and it's been decades. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. It makes you think how old are they really? But
Yeah.
yeah,
Um, but like I said, going back to the film, I think it was very interesting to see him come back from that, and he did. He was fighting. Steve's still fighting great, man. And
yeah,
After that situation, what really got me the most was, like I said, seeing the androids, and it was like, damn, this really does bring you back though, because it's like, especially if you were actually watching the Cell Saga, it just brings you back to like the androids, and it's funny because Android 18, right, like towards when Gohan was fighting her, she was actually she happened to beat her, and I was like, damn, don't this feels familiar, like.
Oh yeah, because around
Oh,
that
but
time,
but
Gohan.
she's human now, right? Like I think she's human now.
Right, yeah, because I think it was Krillin in one of the sagas from the Dragon Ball Z series. He wished her back
What
to life
happened,
as
bro?
a
What
human.
happened to Krillin, man? He was the boy, bro. Like he was the man. Like especially going back to the days where Master Roshi had both of them training in the water on Kami's house and shit.
Yeah, with Goku when he was kids. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
what
classic.
happened when they both had the turtles on their back, the turtle shells?
Yeah, they had to carry that weight around to train your
Yeah,
body weight.
what happened, bro? Now he's a cop and he don't do shit. You know what I mean? Like he
Yeah,
don't got nothing. They just threw Krillin like off to the side, like he's nobody. Like,
yeah. Krillin became like a real background character, especially after the Frieza saga. Like he just put on a back
yeah, like
burner
what happened,
after.
bro? Like, remember when Frieza had to become Meta Frieza or some shit like that with the metals and shit?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like
that's
who,
when.
bro? Who put him in that? It was Krillin when he threw the disco disc. It
Yeah.
struck. Yeah, yeah.
But unfortunately, as we know, Frieza called him and blew his ass up. But yeah,
Yeah.
Krillin. Yeah, Krillin is a funny. He's like the comedic relief of the whole crew.
No, he is.
Always
I
fun.
just it's so when you see him on the new movies, you're like, damn, man, what happened to you, bro? Like, and then for that, we didn't even see Yamcha in there, right? Yamcha was not even in there.
Oh yeah, Yamcha and Tien. They didn't
Tien,
really got from there.
they were all out of there. But it was nice to see. Damn, it was nice to see. Damn, I can't remember his name. What's the other Piccolo?
Oh yeah, the kid one, right?
Yeah, what the hell's his name though?
I can't remember
I
at the
can't
moment.
remember. Yeah, the lookout, right? Like on the
Yeah, on Planet Namek. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's where Piccolo.
Dende.
Oh yeah, Dende. Yeah, that's
Dende,
right.
yeah. Dende the boy, like that, he was in there. That was nice.
Yeah, I like that callback. I haven't seen him in a while, ever since the Frieza saga.
Yeah. Tell
Yeah,
you.
and Piccolo. That's when Piccolo got that power for becoming Orange Piccolo with that. I was wondering what that was. It was like a statue of Shinron inside like a jar. I was
Yeah,
like, what is
I was
that?
yeah, I was like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, but apparently it's like some kind of tree power. It's like some kind of tree of youth or something like that. It was explaining,
Mm.
and I guess like summon it or whatever, and he absorbed it. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
It was crazy to see. I'm telling you, what was crazy to see was Orange Piccolo. That shit was crazy.
Sick. I like that. I was like, oh shit, I wasn't expecting him to have like
Yo,
a
he
new
was big
transformation.
as shit, man. He was like, yo, when he was throwing that blast, he ate that punch. He ate that blast, and I remember when he punched him, he looked at him and was like, bro, what was that?
Yeah, he started to fuck the android up
Yeah,
after that, like number two.
it's crazy when the blast came up and when he first transformed, I was like, oh shit, he about to get messed up now.
Yeah, Husky Piccolo came through.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was like, oh shit. Gohan was
they could have
shot.
better name for that though. Just Orange Piccolo. It's just like Gold Frieza. It's like, come on now. You could
Yeah,
have
I
called him
know,
like
I know, I know. I was like, come on, bro. What the fuck?
you could have had a cooler name. Like all the Saiyans got cool names and shit, but get Piccolo that shit. But
Told you, man.
it's
He's always, bro. He's always gonna be that side person. You know what I mean?
well, at least in this one they give him more of a forefront of a main character role, and I like that. And especially Gohan too, because
Wait,
that's one thing I hated about like some of the past Dragon Ball Z series. Like they put Gohan after the Cell Saga, they kind of just put him to the side and like just put him as like a background character.
Well,
Where I always think Gohan is like the next coming up after Goku is like, it was like what happened?
yeah,
In
I
this
mean,
one,
they
at least,
always, they
Frieza-
always, they always put it like that. It's weird. I feel like they jumble, they mix him around sometimes. Sometimes he's like next in line to be the most powerful, Super Saiyan or whatever the case is. And then it's like sometimes they kind of put him off to the side like he ain't shit. I don't know. They're always mixing them around sometimes. But Goku is never. He's always in slot one. You know what I mean? Like he's always
obviously
gonna be
character.
no matter what you say or do. Even if he loses or win, we've seen Goku go through the most darkest shit in the entire like all of them, not just Dragon Ball Z, all the damn series. He's always going through something, dies from it,
Yeah,
gets brought back from the Dragon Balls or whatever the case is.
yeah.
Um, and then he just
Man's
he becomes the strongest out of some shape or form. It's like it's crazy, that's what I'm saying. But Goku always manages to be in slot one, while and Vegeta is always right behind him.
yeah.
And everybody else is
Remains.
kind of like fuck you, like you know what I mean. But
Yeah, the
I mean,
more
what was
OP.
cool? What was cool was we got to see the what was it? Go tanks.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The
Gotenks again
the
from
fat
the Buu saga. That's
the
like a flashback from the Buu saga.
the
That's funny. The
the
fat
fat the
when he
fat version.
fused that.
Yeah, because they fucked the fusion up. Like when they try to fuse, they didn't do it right.
Right. Yeah, they were stuck in the fat form. That was pretty funny.
I was like, what happened, man?
Yeah, and kind of was they was kind of rusty from the past. They didn't do it in a while, so
But
they got click up
yeah,
with
man, the
Piccolo
fight,
again.
what I really do appreciate the most about this film, like we're gonna still talk more about it, but it's like what I did appreciate it was that it was nice to be brought back into like when I was watching this film, it felt good that, and I felt the same way with Super, but I haven't watched Super since it got finished. When it finished, I believe that was like no, that was like 3 or 4 years ago. I think it's been off for a while now. Um,
It's about to come back soon too. I hear because it's like a new manga issues came out about Black Frieza and all this. So it's a bunch of
oh
new forms
shit,
and shit.
really?
Yeah, they just announced like a new form of Frieza again. Of course, after Gold Frieza is Black Frieza. I'm like, this is the thing with Dragon Ball. They don't know how to stop with these characters of like keep transforming. That's the one gripe I have with it. But what can you do?
No, no, no. I agree with you, but let me just finish this statement real quick. But I do feel like what was nice about this film was that it brought me back to that time where it was nice to really just watch, just especially when back when I was younger, when I used to watch this kind of shows. And it's like you used to really be hype as hell when you see them always fighting and stuff like that. I felt the
Yeah,
same. Like I felt the exact same. It was nice to revisit that feeling, especially you know, we haven't had a Dragon Ball Z movie in a while since the Broly movie. And that was like 2018. It's already been like 3
right.
years, you know.
Yeah,
So
for sure. Always gets me excited when it's done well like that. It's
so it was it
making
was it was really nice to revisit that. But as far as like you were saying about the characters, I was like, I mean, yeah, that is the one thing about Dragon Ball Z that does kind of it's like I get it with Goku, like, when he always comes back, nobody wants to see him die. And that's why I'm saying like most people will probably argue that if he dies like completely, the show is not gonna be the same. We all know that. Like I feel like there won't be no Dragon Ball without him. Like he is Dragon Ball. Like he is the show. Like
yeah, he's literally the face of it. He's the beginning of it.
yeah, like without him, it's kind of like that. I feel like most people would say like that's like killing Superman, and without fucking the dog like Crypto would be like Superman or some shit. I know that's a terrible example, but like you get what I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
it's like
he's
can't say
he's the face.
yeah, But with everybody else, it's kind of like, all right, especially the villains. It was nice to see Cell reemerge because like that was crazy, but it wasn't really Cell though in this movie. That wasn't Cell. That was like
It's
another
Max Cell. That's what he's called, Max
yeah,
Cell.
it was like another android that actually looked exactly like him though.
Yeah, he's pretty much a spinoff to what Cell's DNA was from what Dr. Hito made, and he actually Dr. Hito said he actually wasn't complete. That's why he kept him inside
I
that pod.
I thought what was the craziest part about the Cell Saga was like, yo, that to me back in them days, that was fucking crazy when he used to fucking swallow you up and shit with his
Oh yeah,
tail.
so
Yeah, yo,
yeah,
that was like that was a
yeah,
little explicit, you know what I mean? That was like, oh shit. That was
like
kind of
he was.
crazy.
That was like the first time you actually seen like actual citizens getting swallowed and killed whole by a villain. Like,
Yeah, I was
oh,
like oh shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like that was kind of dark around those times. Like, I mean, when Majin Buu when he used to turn him into chocolate, that was different. Like that wasn't even death like that. Nah, like Cell
yeah,
Man,
that's
he was eating, like he was like consuming them. Like
yeah, and taking their power, any energy they had. Like that's why I will say this now. Like for me, Cell, I think that's like one of my, if not the best saga out of all Dragon Ball Z for me. Like that's my favorite saga, Dragon Ball Z, the Cell saga,
I'm
because that.
I'm gonna go ahead and say mine's for me. I have to say Majin Buu because everybody and their moms would be like, bruh. Like that episode with Vegeta and Goku in the tournament. Psh,
Yeah, the Majin, the Babidi, yeah, that's crazy.
that was crazy, bro.
Yeah, and that's the
Um,
first time you've seen like Vegeta actually gain that much power almost over Goku at that point.
yeah. Um, but going back to the film, like I said, I mean, I just it really was nice to see to have that feeling again. Especially with Gohan and man, like like we just said, like we kind of already talked about, like with Cell coming back, like that shit was crazy. And this Max Cell was like, whoa, like he was like, I, di- I, di- I don't know what kind, like what made him get his powers and so like I don't know what it was, like a bunch of like chemicals and shit that was mixed in that machine thing, whatever that he was like in.
Right.
Oh, and what was crazy too was before I get into that, what was crazy too is that when I've never seen that before, uh when what was the kid's name again? I always forget his name.
The fat kid.
Yeah,
Uh, oh, Doctor Hito.
Hito. Yeah, when
Yep.
he got shot by the little what was the other guy's name too? I forgot his name too.
Oh, I forgot his name too. Shit.
Yeah, when he took the gun out, bro, like when he shot him, I was like, yo, that's has they ever died in I've never seen a character die in a gunshot like that before. That was crazy.
Oh yeah, he almost died, but he had like that repellent suit on,
Yeah,
and that
but I'm
kind
saying like
of
when he did it at first, I'm like, yo, when if they
yeah, I thought I almost killed him or something,
yeah, I
but
was like, bro, that's never happened in Dragon Ball Z, like anything Dragon Ball, as far as I know.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, they usually have guns, but it's never killed
okay, not to
anybody.
be dramatic, but like, okay, if it's a spirit bomb, it's crazy shit, planet getting blown up, they're getting like if it's a Kamehameha wave, you know what I mean? They're usually getting like blast into pieces or something, or like Majin Buu's like shredded pieces,
Right,
cells blowing up, the most craziest deaths.
right.
But something as small as a gunshot is just something not usually done in the Dragon Ball world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if it is, it's just like playful, like back in the Dragon Ball series where that one lady that transforms when she's angry, she had like that Uzi, but it was just like for comedic effect back then, more than
M-
threatening.
more like yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it was kind of crazy, but he didn't die, obviously. But it was for a second, I was like, when I seen that scene, I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah, right. I thought he almost died for the character you're talking about, the guy in the suit with the mustache.
yeah,
It's Magneta, Magneta. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but
Magneta.
he's that little short guy you
Yeah.
see in the Red Ribbon Army.
And it was like I never got that. I never actually understood that too. Like, what was the point of Max Cell? I mean, like, the cell. I didn't get it. I was like, so
I think he
was
was supposed to be a replacement of Cell since Cell was destroyed at the
but were
time.
you going to use him to take over I'm saying like world domination? Like, what was that about?
Right.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, like what Dr. Hito said in the movie, like he wasn't actually meant to be put out, but since Magneta he released him, so that's what happened. He wasn't actually supposed to be
Oh, he
out,
was supposed to stay. He was actually never supposed to happen. Gotcha.
right? Because what Dr. Hito was saying he was incomplete at the time. He wasn't even fully to his max form. So
Are you
because
talking about basic cell or are you saying cell mac like this one now?
yeah, Cell Max. He wasn't actually complete because the form that Cell Max is in the original Cell, that's a Cell's second form. But since Cell Max was still inside that machine thing, he wasn't at his perfect form yet. So they released him earlier than he was supposed to be let out.
Damn, bro. Can you imagine if he was at perfect cell?
Man, that'd be some Godzilla shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, cause he was powerful though. Like, as far as what he was now, you know.
And he's big as shit. He's like a kaiju.
I
Like,
know, and it was crazy to see Piccolo when he Orange Piccolo go up against him. But I didn't. I totally forgot that he can grow like that. I did
yeah,
not. I forgot about that. Do you remember that fight? That the flashback that they showed?
right. Yeah, I love that. I love that callback from the Dragon Ball series when he fought Goku for the first time in the tournament.
That's when he first, yeah, because Piccolo looked a lot different than what he looked now, man. Like, he actually looked like a demon. Like, he was like really like aggressive looking. Like when he was fighting Goku for the first time, I heard.
Right, because back then, remember that wasn't that original Piccolo, but that was like a different form of Piccolo from Planet Namek. Yeah, it's
Oh,
called
so
King
that wasn't
Piccolo.
him.
Right, because he became that Piccolo when he fused with another Namek on the planet, and that's what made this Piccolo we know today.
Oh.
Yeah, because I remember they explained that when
See,
Dragon Ball
that's why
Super.
I don't have too much knowledge on this. See, you do because you've actually watched the entire, I think, the first actual Dragon Ball, right?
Yeah, yeah, I watched the whole thing of that. Yeah,
Damn,
yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah. That's why, like, throughout this movie, Piccolo, when people keep calling him King Piccolo, he's like, "No, I'm not King Piccolo. I'm just Piccolo," because he doesn't like that side of him, that evil side of him, because there's like two sides of him and everything. That's why, that's why Piccolo is the main one that teaches everybody how to fuse and everything, because he's the first one that knows how to fuse with different Namecs.
That's
That's where,
crazy.
you know.
Well, that
So
was
I,
good.
I, I think that call back to that. That was cool.
That was crazy. And then that's why I'm saying, like, when he grew and he was actually giving it, but they were already, he was already tired, man. You know what I mean? Like, he was already tired. But that's why it was time. Like, this whole thing was basically to kind of bring back Gohan back to the spotlight,
Right,
because he hasn't been on the spotlight since the Cell Saga,
right.
right?
That's
Like,
what I was.
that's like, you can't tell me another time when he really had the spotlight like that. Because even in Super, he wasn't. He was in the tournament, but he lost. Like, they put his ass on the bench.
Damn.
Yeah, that's what it was in the show. Like, if you got put out like out of bounds, like out of the tournament, they just
Oh
have you
yeah.
benched. Yeah,
Yeah,
obviously
that's
Goku was like the last one of the fight, so
yeah. Of course.
that was the most that's why I'm saying Super was like my favorite, bro. Like, I recommend that shit. That you gotta watch that shit, bro.
Oh yeah, it's just so long. Yeah, it'll take me so
Yeah,
take a
it is. It is. There's a lot of it's the same shit as the Dragon Ball Z saga. Like it's the
right,
same thing. It's like different chapters of it.
right. And the only reason I know like characters like Beerus and like the gods and everything, because I played the Dragon Ball Z Fighter games, and of course you got to know the characters when you play those games.
I don't
But
think he
that's
was. I don't know if he was introduced in Super though. I think he was introduced in a movie.
uh
Yes.
my movie
Yes.
first.
Yes. Yes. That's the one with the gods.
Oh yeah, that's
Um
right. That came out first, and then after that was Super. That's right.
yes. Yes. I remember that. That's when he
Yeah, I
actually
remember
was
that
yeah,
now.
he was introduced in that movie. I forgot what it was called. But that's when Goku went up against him and he still gave him a run for the money, but he still lost. He lost to him actually.
Oh yeah.
You didn't see that one, did you? You didn't see that one either?
Oh no, I haven't seen
Yeah.
anything past T like what I was saying in the
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling
Yeah,
you, man, this I've been watching it ever since. It's crazy.
yeah,
But what was really interesting was that we were able to see Gohan, man, go to his final form. That shit was crazy. For a second, I was
yeah.
like, is he going Ultra Instinct? Like, cause the hair
Right.
is gray. Like, I'm like, there's no fucking way. Like, cause
Yeah,
you have
because
to
his hair was
understand,
like
you
all
have to
back in a
understand
circle.
the way that Goku entered that form was that he he took in a spirit bomb that he was trying to throw at Jiren. Um, and for a quick second, it's like he experienced death. Like
Mhm.
he did. Like he absorbed when he threw the spirit bomb at Jiren. Jiren reflected it, and he got hit with his own spirit bomb. And for a
Shit.
second, it sent him into like a state of mind where it's like I think he's seen multiple versions of himself, and he just got sucked into the spirit bomb. And we did not see Goku, like no body, no nothing. He was gone for like a while. And then he reemerged with this new form. So it's like it wasn't even something that he had to tap into um on his own like we're always used to Goku doing as far as like Dragon Ball like Super Saiyan 2, 3,
Right.
this is not something that he did on his own is what I'm saying. It was like a death, like he had to experience death to kind of go to this great length.
Yeah.
So
That's a unique way of transformation from the
yeah,
typical way
that's what
charges
I'm
up.
saying. So what I'm basically trying to get at is like that would have been crazy for Gohan to just tap into. I mean, it was one of those situations to see Go Piccolo, get fucked up and die, and that's why he was just like, "Yo, what the fuck?" Like that triggered him. The same way that Piccolo was trying to get him to, get mad and why he was fighting the androids because it was like it was kind of like a way for it to bait him to wake up from his ultimate form. Um,
Right. Oh yeah, that's a whole part we kind of skipped over. It was like a part where Piccolo went undercover in the Red Ribbon Army where he was trying to get
I
information on him. And
I forgot about that too. Um,
yeah,
that to me that part was like kind of weird because it was like, couldn't you just I don't know, like you didn't have to go undercover, but you could have just followed him. You know what
oh
I
yeah,
mean? Like I was looking at Piccolo like, bruh, you can like murder all these people. He was just like pretending to be a soldier most of the time. I thought that was funny.
yeah. But I think the reason why he did this because Dr. Hito, I don't know if you remember in the beginning, he had like this little mosquito android that would follow around with a camera on it. So I think that's why Piccolo was trying to disguise himself so he wouldn't be spied on and
But I
arrested.
but I don't think he knew that Dr. Hito was even around though. I don't think so.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if I think he just did that to kind of just follow him into the secret lair to kind of discover where it was, which was fine, but I looked at it was like You didn't need to go that grave lengths. Like I don't know. You could have just fucking. Doesn't he do instant transmission too? Can he just not do that?
Oh yeah, I believe so. Yeah, you can like
That's what I'm
yeah, 'cause-
saying. Like, what? Just obviously, you need to know where you're going. So I would say follow him, but you didn't need to go as far as disguising yourself. I don't know. It was weird. It was. I get it. I don't want to change the concept. I mean, I felt like he had to do that to get to find out the location, but it was kind of like I don't know. He was doing way too much because it was like, come on, man. Like you are like you're not that weak. You know what I'm saying? Like you could have at least took out majority of the scrubs for sure.
oh yeah, definitely.
And then it's like for even the android, like you did lose, but you didn't even lost, man.
Yeah,
you got what you got. He didn't even get knocked out. He actually just took a couple of hits. That was it.
yeah. He just got knocked down to that pit, and that's when he transformed into Piccolo Orange, and then yeah.
No, I'm saying the first time when he fought him.
Oh, oh yeah,
It wasn't
yeah,
even like he wouldn't even get beat up that bad. You like I
yeah.
still feel like he still could have done like even something to him. You know what I mean?
Right.
But he
We
just
seen.
felt like he wanted to get more powerful. That's what it was. But
Yeah,
that was
I
it.
think he was just trying to get information from them before he attacked them. You know.
That's right. Yeah. But nah, with Gohan, like I said, I thought that was crazy because I didn't think we never would have suspected him to we haven't seen a transformation from Gohan since Ultimate Form. That's it. I mean, even when he became Super Saiyan 2, right? Because I believe 2 was when with Cell when he was trying to use that Kamehameha blast with his dad.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
That's his last biggest form that he turned into, and
that was crazy. Like
and I
he
like that it's like this whole movie is like a callback to the Cell saga in itself because it all comes back to him.
it still felt like it was like a weird like it felt like it was all brought back to the same scenario. Like
Right, him with Cell and him transformation into a new form, and it's like a brand new version of that saga, which is cool.
yeah.
Goes full circle pretty much.
It does. It really does. And it's crazy that when they killed him when he killed them, I believe like didn't Goku actually I don't know if he killed him, but I remember he was big as hell too and he blew up. Oh no, that was that was the first time, but then he came back and then he was actually perfect cell, right?
Oh yeah, Goku died actually, and yeah, and that's when Gohan was on his own in the tournament, and it was just him and Cell.
Yeah.
But he summoned Goku from when he was dead, and that's when he did the Kamehameha wave and killed Cell with the that
So
Kamehameha wave, the father son
bro, he was
combination.
ugly as shit, bro. He looked like a whole roach the first form.
Oh yeah, he's skinny as shit like a
Yeah.
mosquito.
Yeah. I was like, what the hell he looks like that? Um But nah, man, it was really cool to see all that break off like that, man. It felt good to watch a Dragon Ball Z movie. Really, really, and it did phenomenal. I think like it may have went up now, but it made like almost $53 million. You know?
Oh yeah, it actually surpassed. I don't know if you've seen that in the box office. It surpassed Bullet Train, the live action movie that
Oh,
came out.
that's fantastic.
I'm like, wow, that's crazy. It surpassed the live action movie that's with big actors in it like that. It's impressive
It's
in
telling you,
America.
telling you, man, this franchise still has a reach, and that's exactly why I can always see like this franchise never dies.
Oh yeah,
You know,
and
because
it's
the fan
man,
base is just enormous and it continues to grow. Like, you know
yeah,
what I mean?
every
Because even the younger
generation.
generation still has like, you know, now they're getting into it because that's what I'm saying. Now that we got this movie, I don't know if anybody's ever taken the time to like show their kids or even like
Oh,
even 14-year-olds. I'm pretty sure like they're smart enough to find it themselves. But you know, this was a perfect opportunity to kind of show them what Dragon Ball Z was alike for us. You know what I mean? It's a lot more different, but trust me, if you go backwards and watch some of the older stuff, you'll like it. Trust me.
Yeah, that's what I
Um,
like about this movie too, because it's like a combination of like the older generation of Dragon Ball Z and the new generation.
yeah,
And and Dragon Ball Z is popular in this generation of kids because I see it all over TikTok and everything. So it's pretty a lot of except this generation likes Dragon Ball Super. That's where they grew up on the newer stuff.
yeah, not Z. Z, that's our generation.
Right.
Um, but yeah, man. I mean, I
Gohan did that. Yo, I got up and clapped when he did the. I wasn't expecting that he did. I thought he's charging up the whole time a spirit bomb, but he was actually charging up the special beam cannon. I'm like, oh shit, he got that from Piccolo. Like that was like, I like that he got that from because that's his original sensei, and I like that it was like all tied into that back when he was a kid and everything. I was like, oh, that's a cool end off of how to kill that Max Cell. I was like, wow,
yeah,
I
that
fuck
was
with shit like that when they do
yeah.
it.
And then when the androids too, like because I feel like we were jumping all over the place in this episode, but as far as the androids too jumping down, remember because they kept saying like, oh, his weakness is on his head. I thought the android
Oh,
was actually gonna be able to, you know, kill him from that high that that overcharged, like I don't know what the fuck, he was just coming down.
oh yeah.
I thought
but
he was
I think it
yeah.
was Ghost that actually cracked it open with his fat ass.
Yeah, but he didn't. Yeah, he didn't do anything. He just killed himself from that.
Yeah. It's like they had the whole crew, even 18, Android 18 had to jump in and help them, and Krillin had to go in there. Like, damn.
Yeah, it was a battle, man. It was crazy.
Yeah. It's like a big ass Godzilla fight at the end. It's crazy. I like
But
that.
but we gotta talk about the end credits though.
Oh yeah.
So that
Or
entire duration of like the movie, obviously all the screen time went towards Piccolo and the Red Ribbon Army and the androids and Cell and go on. The meantime, these guys were just Goku and Vegeta were just kind of going back and forth, just training. No,
yeah.
no Kai blasts, no special attacks, no transformation, just straight fist fighting.
Oh yeah.
And throughout this entire movie, they both were exhausted, and
Yeah.
Goku just got tired and fell to the ground. And apparently, Vegeta won. How many
Yeah.
times have Goku
Long
won though?
last ending.
But how many times have Goku won though? Let's break out the tally board. What is that? 1 out of 26.
Let's just say every saga that they ever been in together, he won every single time.
So I don't know if they did that on purpose for just they probably felt bad when they were writing the script. They was like, yo, let's let you know what, let's give Vegeta his first win, and I was like, but it's like he did earn that win, but at the same time, it's like you only earned it because he dropped to the ground first. Like that was it. Like it's not like he was really severely like damaged to where and you were still standing on your 2 feet and you won that fight. You know what I mean? Like that would, to me, I would have gave you the win and say, okay, you know what? He beat the shit out of him. You
Yeah, he
both were
got
tired.
last.
Yeah, you both were tired, and he fell to the ground first. I don't. I disagree. I believe like that was bullshit. but but
Goku's unstoppable.
but I'm gonna go and say let the guy have his win because he's never actually had a win. So
Oh, yeah. You know how stingy Vegeta is when trying to beat Kakarot and shit.
yeah, I mean because the entire time he thought by you know analyzing Jiren, the way Jiren fought him back in Super, it was he was like, damn, how was he able to remain so calm and collective while he's still in combat? That's something that he wanted to, I'm guessing, implement in his own, training. So,
Yeah.
and that's why Goku was actually practicing with Broly. He was actually just kind of like meditating and even when he was fighting him, he was actually more calm than more aggressive and trying to actually kill him. You know what I mean? He was actually calm and collective. So it's like his fight style was changing a little bit, but Goku is still fucking him up. Like, let's be honest. Like,
As we can see.
look, the
Yeah, I
man,
think the only one that really gives Goku a true match is Broly, and
the man, you give the man a
from
pencil and a book, he can't do it. But if you give the man a chance to fight, the man is always educating himself on fight. He literally breathes to fight. That's what he does.
oh, both of them, that's all they do.
So yeah, man. Like I
God,
said, this movie's been great. Um, for anybody who's been a Dragon Ball Z fan since I've been since the early 2000s, I mean, I definitely, you guys need to check it out. I know it's already been a week since the movie already been out. It's been out since August 18th, so for sure, everybody's already probably seen it at this point. If you haven't, I highly suggest you go and watch that film. It is so good.
yeah, it's still early. It's only on the second week. It's still in theaters for a couple weeks, so definitely catch it when you still can.
Yeah. But I think that covers about everything, Don. You have anything else to add on her?
Oh, only thing else to say is like I just hope that from here on out, Dragon Ball Z is just. I just hope it just evolves past for where it originally was. It's just good to see it made its callbacks, and it's still grounded at what it originally was, and it just didn't go off the rails like it has been doing lately. It's good to see like it can still make callbacks to the original. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's about it though.
Okay. For me as well, I want to see, and like you said, that's amazing to hear that they're continuing Super. Um, and like you said, it was nice to kind of get it back, a little bit of taste of old school and new school and combine. It was nice to revisit that. So, and experience that at the same time. So yeah, I think this was a good film, man. And yeah, I think that's all I have to add. I hope you guys liked and you liked everything we kind of covered on this episode. We really appreciate this love and support we've been getting. Um, like, subscribe, and yeah, that's about it. We'll see you guys on the next one.
You know?
Peace.
It's